Hello class. Next, we will talk about the vernalization of plants. We will explain from 5 aspects: the phenomenon of vernalization, the types of plant responses to low temperature, the conditions for plants to undergo vernalization, the location and transmission of vernalization stimulus, and the application of vernalization in agricultural production. The first content: the phenomenon of vernalization. In 1928, Lysenko treated imbibed winter wheat seeds with low temperature and sowed them in spring, and found that they could head and flower in the summer of the same year. He termed the effect of low temperatures on promoting plant flowering as vernalization. The second content: the types of plant responses to low temperature. Various plants have different requirements for low temperature, which can be divided into 3 categories. Category 1. The requirement of plants for low temperature is absolute. If this type of plant does not undergo a certain number of days of low temperature treatment, it can maintain unlimited vegetative growth and does not flower. Mainly biennial and perennial herbaceous plants, such as rape, carrots, and so on. Category 2. The requirement of plants for low temperature is relative. If this type of plant does not go through low temperature vernalization, it only extends the vegetative growth period. Given sufficient time, it will still flower, such as winter wheat. Category 3. Most warm-loving plants and many woody plants do not require vernalization, such as rice, cucumber, and so on. The third content: the conditions for plants to undergo vernalization, including 3 conditions. 1. Low temperature. Low temperature is one of the main conditions for vernalization. Different types of plants or different varieties of the same type have different effective low temperature ranges and required durations of low temperature. For most plants that require low temperature, 1 to 7 degrees Celsius is the most effective vernalization temperature. However, given enough time, -1 to 9 degrees Celsius is equally effective. Generally, the stronger the winter hardiness of a plant, the lower the required vernalization temperature, and the longer the vernalization time. If plants are placed at higher temperatures before the vernalization process is completed, the flowering-inducing effect of low temperature will be weakened or eliminated. This phenomenon of high temperature eliminating vernalization is called devernalization. The effective temperature for devernalization is generally 25 to 40 degrees Celsius. Most devernalized plants can be revernalized if placed under low temperature conditions again, and the effects of previous low temperature treatments can be cumulative. The phenomenon of devernalized plants regaining vernalization through low temperature again is called revernalization. 2. Oxygen, water, and sugars. In addition to requiring low temperature for a certain period during vernalization, sufficient oxygen, an appropriate amount of water, and sugars that can provide energy are also indispensable. 3. Light. The impact of light on plant vernalization is more complex. Generally, before vernalization, sufficient light can promote biennial and perennial plants to undergo vernalization. After vernalization, most plants still require long day conditions to flower. The fourth content: vernalization stimulus site and transmission. 1. The timing of vernalization. According to the different stages at which plants requiring vernalization perceive low temperature induction, vernalization plants can be divided into seed vernalization type and vegetative vernalization type. Most winter annual plants, such as winter wheat and winter rye, can be vernalized at the seed germination or seedling stage, with the best vernalization effect at the 3-leaf stage. These belong to the seed vernalization type, such as winter wheat. However, most biennial and perennial plants that require low temperature can only perceive low temperature when the seedlings have grown to a certain size, such as carrots and kale, which are of the vegetative vernalization type. 2. The parts that perceive vernalization. The parts of the plant that perceive low temperature are the meristematic and cell division regions, such as the shoot apical meristem, young embryos, and the base of petioles. 3. Transmission of vernalization. Plants that have completed vernalization can not only maintain this stimulus until flowering, but also transmit this stimulus. Taking winter rye as an example, after its sprouting seeds receive low temperature vernalization, all levels of tillers produced subsequently can bloom smoothly. The apical meristem of the main stem can transmit the perceived low temperature stimulus to the apical meristems of lateral branches formed later. When a vernalized branch of henbane is grafted onto non-vernalized tobacco or petunia plants, the latter 2 plants can also flower. This suggests that plants vernalized at low temperatures produce a transmissible substance, a stimulus called vernalin, that can be passed from plant to plant. Next, we will learn the 5th content: the application of vernalization in agricultural production, including 3 aspects. 1. Artificial vernalization treatment. Artificially subjecting imbibed seeds to the low temperature treatment required for vernalization is called vernalization treatment. After vernalization, the flower induction process of crops is accelerated, and they can bloom and mature earlier. Farmers in northern China have long successfully solved the problem of spring sowing of winter wheat by using methods such as the seed soaking method and the 79 wheat method. 2. Guiding plant introduction. China has a vast territory. When northern varieties are introduced to the south, they may not meet the low temperature requirement, resulting in only vegetative growth without flowering and fruiting. When southern varieties are introduced to the north, the growth period may be too long or temperatures may not be high enough, which affects yield. Whether introducing southern varieties to the north or northern varieties to the south, it is necessary to understand the temperature requirements of the introduced varieties. 3. Controlling flowering period. Using treatments of vernalization, devernalization, and revernalization, vegetative growth can be artificially controlled and the flowering period can be regulated. In flower cultivation, low-temperature treatment of biennial or annual herbaceous flowers allows them to be sown in spring and bloom in the same year. In vegetable production, onion bulbs partially vernalized in the previous season can be devernalized by high temperature in spring, so that they can bolt and flower. That's all for today. Thank you.